Great, so officially welcome to the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society Information Session for RCC's Alpha Phi Sigma chapter of the fall 2021 semester. So it's great to see you all. We have here a presentation in webinar mode. So what you're gonna do is if you have questions, you can put those in the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. You can also put them in the chat. And we will happily address your questions. There is even an opportunity to allow you to unmute and speak if you have a question at the end, but it would be best to conduct our questions in the chat and the Q&A feature, okay? So we're gonna show you a presentation today. The presentation includes a brief video. This isn't gonna take all 45 minutes that we have budgeted for it, okay? It'll be shorter than that, but again, happy to answer your questions as we go through the presentation. So let's get started. First of all, what is PTK? Well, PTK was founded in 1918, so it's over 100 years old. It is only for two-year college students, and there it recognizes scholars and develops leaders for the future. So we're looking at the most excellent two-year college students are invited to Phi Theta Kappa. There's almost 3 million members of PTK. There are over 1,200 chapters worldwide, and we have one of them, RCC's chapter of PTK. And there's over 131,000 scholars inducted annually. So just to give you a sense of the scope, this is an international honor society for two-year college students that you would be joining if you decide to do so. And here's where I'll click on this link and we're gonna watch a quick video. I will actually need to change my sharing preferences. So just give me 1 second while I do that. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. You're gonna see Dr. Butler and me, and I'm gonna head over and share a different screen with you, and I'll share the sound also. So give me 1 second to do that. Okay, and this is just a very brief video.
I was told.
I was told.
I was told.
I was told.
I was told that I could never afford a college education.
I was told I would never leave my hometown.
I wouldn't fit in.
No one in our family goes to college.
I was told I wasn't smart enough.
I would never amount to anything.
But because of Phi Theta Kappa,
But because of Phi Theta Kappa,
Phi Theta Kappa.
Phi Theta Kappa,
Because of Phi Theta Kappa,
I've traveled to regional and international events and met students from all over the world.
I found a place where it's cool to be smart.
I have inspired my children to pursue a college degree.
I'm connected with a network of students I would have never met otherwise.
I'm part of an elite community of scholars.
I will graduate with a degree debt-free and can transfer to a school I never thought possible.
I'm a leader at my college and in my community.
All right, so that is certainly an empowering video and a video that some of you might relate to. So let me just share my screen back with the presentation here, okay? All right. So what are the benefits of joining PTK? If you wanted to become a part of this elite community of scholars, what would you do? What would you gain from it? Well, first of all, it's something that you can put on your resume or your curriculum vitae. It's something that you can brag about, something you can tell people about, and something that is recognized by four-year colleges when you go to transfer. A lot of four-year colleges actually give scholarship money to PTK members, and we'll explain more about how that works. The scholarship opportunities can be really tremendous. PTK itself offers scholarships. And then many four-year schools, as I just mentioned, offer scholarships to PTK students. So there are two different layers of scholarships that you can apply for. When you join PTK, you're only going to pay the entrance fee one time, okay? $80 is the fee, and you only pay that once, and then you're a member forever. And you get access to trying to get all kinds of scholarship money that can help you afford college later on. And even beyond your bachelor's degree, you can apply for scholarships that will help you with a master's degree or a PhD as well. So there's a lot of money that you could potentially have access to if you join PTK. There are also a lot of leadership skills that you can develop. So you can become a part of our chapter's executive board. You can go to regional and national conferences and be elected to the boards there. So there's a lot of great leadership that you can get out of this organization if you want it. And finally, you have a network of fellow scholars. So once you're a member of PTK, you have access to that whole network of other scholars that can help you with all the things networking helps you with: finding new jobs, finding community, all those great privileges. Okay, so those are a bunch of our membership benefits. Now, if you have questions, I hope you'll put them in the Q&A or in the chat, and we'll be happy to talk about them either now or at the end, but don't be shy with your questions. So what, in terms of recognition, do you get? Well, we will have an induction ceremony in the spring semester. Now, right now, we do not yet know whether that ceremony will be able to be held in person or virtually. For the past 2 years, we've been holding it virtually. But as a member of PTK, you're entitled to a membership pin and a certificate. There's a press release that goes out that the college will send out. Your advisors, Dr. Butler and myself, if you ever need verification for any reason that you're in Phi Theta Kappa, we will happily write a quick letter verifying that you are. And I've done that for many students who needed it for a scholarship at a four-year school. You get a special notification on your transcript. Once you've joined Phi Theta Kappa, that appears on your RCC transcript. And you get a special cords that you can purchase for graduation. And your name is also noted as a PTK scholar in your in the program for graduation. Okay, so those are a few of the ways in which you're recognized when you join PTK and RCC's chapter of PTK. Let's talk more about the money, something everybody's always excited about, and really the opportunities are incredible. There are nearly $90 million in scholarships available, as I mentioned before, at every educational level. So you can get scholarships now, you can get scholarships to pursue your bachelor's, you can get scholarships to pursue graduate education. And we're actually going to go to scholarships.ptk.org in a few minutes, not right now, but we'll go at the end to show you what that looks like. Okay. In terms of those leadership skills, what do they look like? So we right now are a 2-star chapter. And that means that we have done a certain number of things that sort of make us more reputable as a chapter, okay? That we're more engaged in the organization. Each chapter has a certain number of stars. The maximum number of stars is 5, and it takes quite a lot to get to 5 stars. But if we've got a strong executive board that wants to lead us in that direction, we can do that, okay? The most important thing is that RCC's chapter is a verified chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, and the number of stars we get, it's really up to you all about what you want to pursue. But if you wanted to get some great leadership opportunity under your belt, you could get involved in the executive board and you could help us plan events and activities and all the kinds of things that we would do to need to get to a 3rd star if we wanted to do that. That's up to you. We do have leadership positions that will be electing a new board soon. There are some folks staying on from last year. Some positions have just been advertised a couple weeks ago, and we'll have elections soon. So if you join PTK, you get to vote in those elections, okay? And then there are conferences that you can attend if you wish that are both local, regional, and international. That network that I mentioned previously, you can connect with other members at RCC, you can connect with other members at conferences that are regional or international. And as I mentioned, you're a member for life. So this isn't something that gets taken away from you, okay? There are some other good reasons. This is a pretty incredible statistic. 91% of PTK members complete their associate degree and or transfer to a 4-year college or university. So by giving yourself this extra layer of support, this access to scholarships, you're improving your chances of success, which is really exciting. And they're just giving you the data here. This was based on a study of only 14,000 Phi Theta Kappa members, but that's still pretty compelling, okay? The national college success rate, 39% among community college students. So you see how big this differential is. So there's a one-time membership fee. I mentioned $80. What you need to do is follow the instructions that were given to you in the message sent to you by Phi Theta Kappa. Okay, PTK sent you a message, would have been a few weeks ago, and all you have to do is follow those instructions. If you don't have your email still, if you're confused about what you need to do, you can always reach out to me or to Dr. Butler and we'll happily help you. But all those instructions have already been given to you in your email. Okay, oops, I didn't mean to go back. In May or June, we will hold an induction ceremony. It will either be virtual or it will be in person. Not sure yet, but either way, it will happen. So just please make sure you're checking your RCC email for more information about that. Okay, so this is our email addresses. KLynch8 is me. AButler3 is Dr. Butler. Now we are ready to answer your questions. And in fact, I will stop sharing for the moment and see, does anybody have questions? You can raise your hand, you can put it in Q&A, you can put it in the chat. let us know your questions. And I'm also going to take us to our website, ptk.org. Okay, Paige, I see your hand raised. So give me 1 second, Paige. I'm going to make it possible for you to ask a question. Okay. Go ahead, Paige.
Hi, so I was wondering if there's like a certain GPA that you need to keep to stay in, like, is it possible for them to kick you out, or once you're in it, you're in it?
Yeah, so that varies chapter by chapter. To be honest with you, we have not been enforcing a maintenance GPA. We've been saying if you have a cumulative GPA of 3.6 and you were invited once, we're going to let you stay. So, please keep your GPA up. I'll say that because it's really good for you to keep it up, right? You want to have the highest possible GPA when you're transferring to a 4-year school, but no, we are not going to kick you out of Phi Theta Kappa. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great question. Thank you so much. Anyone else have a question that they'd like to put in the chat or in the Q&A, or if you want, I see one in the Q&A. As someone is asking, are you able to join if this is your second year at RCC? The answer is yes, absolutely. You can be invited to PTK up all the way until your last semester. So no problem, please join, because when you're applying to transfer, if that's your path, there's going to be some great scholarship opportunities for you that you might not otherwise be able to take advantage of. Okay, so let me give you a few examples. NYU has scholarships just for PTK students. Okay, extra on top of anything else you might get. Binghamton, SUNY Binghamton has a scholarship that you need to apply to. STAC, St. Thomas Aquinas in our county, if you're a member of PTK and you apply to STAC, they will give you a 50% off your tuition just because you're a PTK member. That's incredible, right? So you have a lot of great opportunities here for getting some financial support for your next step. And I see a question from Megan in the chat. Do you have to be involved in a leadership position to be in PTK? No, you do not. So PTK has leadership positions, and pretty soon we'll be electing. So I think actually tomorrow we're going to start holding the election for our executive board. And so if you join before tomorrow, you'll be able to vote in that election, but you do not have to run for office to be a member of PTK. We have our executive board, and then we have our membership. All right. Great question, Megan. I appreciate that question. Other questions? These are great ones. Keep them coming. Okay, while you're thinking of your questions, I am going to show you ptk.org, and I'm going to put that in the chat as well. All right, so ptk.org. Now, here, I want to show you one thing in particular. So you can do all kinds of things on this website. I'm going to do, actually, we'll show you two things. The first is if you received that invitation, and you did, because the only people this invite got sent to are the people who were invited to PTK. All right, so we know you received an invitation. If you click on become a member, it's going to ask you to input the email or the passcode from your invitation. Okay, so that's really easy to do. You just go back and you refer to your invitation. I see we've got a question in the chat. Oh yes, thank you, Dr. Butler. Okay, so that's how you would start the process of joining. Okay, now up here, scholarships. This is what you should explore. So there are transfer student scholarships, there are career tech student scholarships, there are scholarships if you're currently in high school. If you're a dual enrollment student, there are scholarships for you, scholarships for nursing students, veterans, lots of other scholarships. So this is, to me, everybody, this is the main reason to join PTK, is this access that you get to scholarships. It doesn't mean you're automatically going to get scholarships. Not every school will give scholarships to PTK members, but a lot of them do. I've just listed a few. I'll give you another one. Boston University. You can apply for a $20,000 scholarship. You have to apply for it. You have to actually be nominated by RCC, but it's a big deal. A lot of money on the table there. Okay. So again, sometimes you got a scholarship like STAC, where they're going to give you 50% off your tuition. Boom, no matter what. Other times you have scholarships like Binghamton and Boston University where you have to apply for them. And you have scholarships from Phi Theta Kappa. So check this out. If I click on transfer student scholarships, okay, I'm going to talk to you about PTK Connect in a second, but PTK's competitive scholarship application is open year round. There are 2 deadlines. There's one coming up, okay? Big deals here. The scholarship deadline is December 1st. And you can apply through Phi Theta Kappa, through the website. And then Dr. Butler and I choose, right? We have to nominate students for certain kinds of scholarships. So we have to nominate students for All USA, for New Century, for Coca-Cola, et cetera. Each of those has a different set of eligibility requirements. So when you turn in your materials on December 1st, then we look at all the completed applications and we can nominate you by December 3rd for those scholarships. So this is the first step, right? You want to, join today, log in, figure out what you need. You'll need a letter of recommendation. You'll need, to write some essays. You'll need to fill out some paperwork. So do that soon because those deadlines are coming up. Okay. And then I mentioned PTK Connect. This is an amazing tool that will help you connect to both scholarships and to learn more about four-year schools. So you see here how it says Phi Theta Kappa members have access to nearly 750 four-year colleges and universities who offer more than $37 million in transfer scholarships just for PTK members. That's amazing. You can find out which schools they are using PTK Connect, and you would do that by state. So select your state of interest. So here, if we select the great state of New York, right, and we hit search, we're going to get a list of the the places, the colleges that offer scholarships through PTK. Okay, and there are lots of other ways to use PTK Connect as well to search for schools, to really refine your research process as you're thinking about transferring. Okay, I'll be quiet again for a minute. Any other questions that you have? You've asked some great ones so far. I really appreciate them. Okay, I see one in the Q&A. What makes PTK different from other honor societies? Great question. RCC has other honor society chapters. For example, the National Society for Leadership and Success, which Elizabeth Perez is coordinating. That's a great society, but I'll tell you what makes PTK what I think is stronger. And it's not just because we're the co-advisors, okay? I think I'm speaking, objective truth here. It's the oldest, it has the most scholarship opportunity, and it's the most well-known. So if you're going to apply for one of them, if you're going to, pay the money to join one, that to me says you join PTK because it's got the most opportunities and it's well-known and there's lots of scholarship money out there. If you can join both, then okay, join both. That's wonderful. You'll open even more doors for yourself. All right, but that to me is how it's different. It's it's oldest, it's got tons of scholarship money, and it's well distributed throughout the whole country, right? You see all different kinds of opportunities for getting scholarship money from all different kinds of schools. Okay, great. What other questions do you have? I think. Oh, would I suggest looking for schools to transfer to through PTK Connect? Yes, I think that's a great idea, especially if you're needing additional funding, right? The PTK Connect will help you understand where you can get that from. There's lots and lots of other ways to look for transfer schools. And if you're struggling with that, contact your academic success advisor. If you're in RCC's honors program, you can contact your honors mentor for help with that. But yes, I think it's a great tool to use and I would suggest using it. Paige, I see your hand. Let me real quickly give you the power to go ahead.
So should you apply for the scholarships before you before you apply to the schools? Like, can you still I don't know if I'm saying this right, but can you apply to the scholarships before you actually apply to the school itself?
Yeah,
Or
that's a great
you,
question. So let's do some research because I'm actually not sure. I would think you kind of have to apply to the school and apply to the scholarship at the same time, but we're going to do Binghamton. Okay, I'm going to pop open a tab here and I'm going to do Binghamton. And then we're going to do, you see some of my recent Binghamton searches, which is kind of funny. I'm going to do the PTK scholarship. Let's see what they say. I would just do research on this, I think is my short answer to your question, but let's just look at Binghamton. You see here, they have a PTK scholarship and they say, Binghamton University extends scholarship opportunities to members of PTK. They invite chapter members to apply for consideration. They're offered for fall enrollment only, and the deadline is April 15th. Well, I'll tell you this much. SUNY's deadline is March 1st. So you would have to essentially, apply for SUNY before applying for the scholarship, I think. I would suggest applying first to the college, I think that only makes sense. Otherwise, they might get confused about why you're applying for a scholarship at a place where you haven't even applied for acceptance yet. But each place might be different in their rules. So, it's a good question. I think there's no easy answer here. I think you might just need to do a bit of research, and happy to help with that, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Great questions though. And you can Google a school's name in PTK too. Of course, you can also go through PTK Connect, which is really powerful to see all the schools that allow you to. And sure enough, there Binghamton is, right? All right, looks like, okay, a great question. Does it look good on applications to transfer? Yes, it does. If you have PTK on your transcript, that looks fantastic. So it's a big deal, absolutely. What opportunities are available for nursing students specifically? Great question. I don't really know. Let's find out. Here, if we go to scholarships and we go to nursing students, oops. Okay, let's see. Scholarships for nursing and healthcare students. Okay, looks like there's scholarships for LPNs. I mean, it looks like there's all kinds of of opportunities down here that you can, if you hit the plus sign on any of these, you can look. So let me put this in our chat. And for those of you interested in the nursing opportunities, check them out. Check them out here. Great question. Okay. What other questions do you have? I see some folks raising hands, so let me go here. Megan, you have the power to talk. Go ahead.
Okay, hi, thank you. I just have a question. I looked on the PT Connect and it looks like my school that I'm thinking of transferring to doesn't have PTK scholarships. Is the membership still like worth it then? Or are they like general scholarships?
Yes, so it is worth it because, and so here's where I want to make it really clear. I'm really glad that you're letting me reinforce this point. There are two kinds of scholarships that you can apply for. The first is scholarships through a four-year school. So it's a bummer that the school that you're looking at doesn't really have those. But PTK itself offers scholarships. And so if we go back to that scholarships tab, what we're going to see is that if we go to transfer students, right, these scholarships down here, the fall programs, these are scholarships offered by Phi Theta Kappa. They're not connected to any institution, to any four-year school. So you could apply for these, but only if you're a member.
Okay, that helps a lot. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. So two kinds, right? PTK scholarships and scholarships offered by four-year schools to PTK students. Yep, great. Paige, did you have another question? Because you're welcome to ask it. If you do, I still see your hand up. I just wanted to make sure I didn't.
Oh, no, sorry.
No, you're fine. Not to worry. I just wanted to make sure I didn't see it. Okay. Another student is asking, do all honor society memberships appear on your transcript automatically? I know PTK does. I'm not sure about the others, like National Society for Leadership and Success, but I do know who to ask. It's Elizabeth Perez, and I believe her email is eperez11, but let me just check on that for you all real quickly. Again, not wanting to discriminate against any honor societies, I think joining as many as you can is a great idea. So she is the one in charge of the National Society for Leadership and Success. And if you're interested in that, or if you got an invitation to that and you have questions about whether it will show up on your transcript, you want to email her. Okay. Great questions. Keep them coming. What else? Okay, Keenan, I see your hand. Let me give you the power. Hang on one second. Give me a sec. Okay, go ahead.
So going off what Megan was saying for the PTA scholarships, when it says fall programs there, is that for this fall? Or is that for the following fall?
Yeah, so that's for, it's a great question. Oops, let me go back to this one. So the deadline, okay, is this fall. And if you're going to transfer next fall, you want to apply for these. Okay, so I'm really glad you clarified that. The deadline is this fall, December 1st, this winter, December 1st, right? And if you're going to transfer next year, you want to apply this year. Okay, absolutely. And you can also apply in the spring too. There's some, there's one scholarship that's available at both times, but what you can see is that there are more in the fall. So if you're in, no matter what year you're in, really, you can apply for these, but especially if you're planning to transfer, I would do it. So check them out, and you can read all about all the different scholarships on the website, okay? And if you click apply at PTK scholarships, you're taken to, this next page. Keenan, go ahead. You can keep asking your question. Maybe it'll load for me. We'll see.
Oh no, that was, I just wanted to follow up on that.
Perfect. Yep. Great question. Great question. If you're in PTK, please do consider, oh yeah, you have to log in for this. But if you're in PTK, if you join PTK, please do apply for these great scholarships. We have had students who are on the Coca-Cola academic team who win the All USA, right? We've had students win these things. So don't be shy about it. You can't win if you don't apply, right? Can't get the money if you don't try for it. Great questions. Okay. Now, I want to say, something that's really important. I understand that an $80 fee may be too much for some of you, okay? It may be prohibitive. If that's the case, I'd like you to email Dr. Butler and myself, and we will consider you for what's called a Golden Opportunity Scholarship, okay? There are only a few of these available to each chapter. So what we're hoping for is that you will only tell us that $80 is a struggle for you if it really is. If it's something you can afford, please just go ahead and pay it. But if you're really going to have trouble with it, email me, and I'm going to put this in the chat. I know we had it up earlier, but I'm going to ask you to email me or Dr. Butler, and we will, look at all of the names we've gotten of people who need assistance, and we will then nominate, I think it's 3 of you, right? Is it 3 that we get to nominate, Dr. Butler, for Golden Opportunity? I think it's something like that. And we will send your names into PTK as, asking for their assistance. And what they'll do is they'll pay about 2/3 of the cost there, okay? And so you'll only have to pay a little bit. Again, please just don't do this if you can afford to do it. Keenan, I see your hand again. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I left it up by accident.
Oh, that's fine. No, I just want to make sure I'm hitting everybody's questions. All right. So unless there are any other questions, I'll stop this recording now, and we will send this out to you. So if you missed something, if you zoned out, that's okay. You have access to this recording. Please be in touch with us if you have questions. Really appreciate that you attended today, and I hope you have a really good rest of your day and your week. All right. Great. Thanks, everybody. Great. Take care, all.